Hello Stampers, it's Amy with Stampin' Magic. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I have for you a different project. It's this one here, and it's not a card, which makes a change. I've been doing a lot of cards lately. So this is a paperclip, and it has a little holder. Very, very simple to do. There's not a lot in this. The ideas for this came from our new thin tool notelets, so it's the same size, but I've just made it into a bit thicker to hold the paperclip there. And then you've got a little holder there where you can just slide it in, and it's poking its head out through the window. So this is going to be a two-part video. Today I'm going to show you how to do the paperclips, and then the second part will be how to make the case for it. So let's get started. You will need the Magic Day stamp set. I absolutely love this. When I saw it on stage, I literally shouted from across the room. I was like, dragons! Because that's what I first noticed. And then I just went crazy because it's like wizards and unicorns. And unicorns are very in at the moment. So not just for kids, for adults too. But there's so much potential with this stamp set. And it's just so fun. Really, really love that. And then you've got the Magic Mates framelit dies that go with it. And I store mine on these magnetic sheets. It's a little bit easier to get them on and off. But you've got lots of extras here. So you've got some like viney stuff which I've used on my holder here. You've got this nice banner. You've got some waves. You've got some stars, and you've got some bubbles, as well as the framelits to cut out your images. So I'm going to be using the dragon again today, and I'll show you how to do that one. Okay, for this you'll need a scrap of Whisper White. That's big enough to hold your dragon image, and you'll need a scrap of coloured card, again big enough to hold your dragon image, and you want to do this in the same colour that you're going to ink your dragon in. You'll also need some large paper clips. Doesn't really work as well with the smaller average size ones. These ones I got on eBay and they weren't very expensive at all. I think it was like maybe a couple of pounds for like a massive pack like this. So these are the slightly longer ones, probably like a couple of inches long there. You can get bigger. You can get all different colours. I just went with regular silver, so you'll need a large paper clip. And you will need some inks. Now you can do this in one colour. So for this one here and my purple dragon, I did this in one colour. And I just made it a bit dark around the top when I was using my blend sponge to get that kind of shadowed, shaded effect. Like so. You can just see there, it's slightly lighter at the bottom here. Or you can do two colours. I did experiment with using blue and yellow and orange and red, but today I want to do a blue one, or bluey turquoise is my favourite colour. So I'm going to do Soft Sky and Bermuda Bay. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. You will need an embossing buddy. This is an old one I've had for ages that I'm just trying to basically use up. I think the pillow ones will work a little bit better. This one I find clogs at the top, but the way I've found you can unclog it is if you tap it on the side then use it, it basically pushes all the powder that's in here down, so it frees it up to use. So just a little tip there when using this type of embossing buddy. It can clog at the top, but just tap it quite hard on the table and it'll free some of that up for you. You'll need some white embossing powder and Versamark ink. You'll need mini glue dots and Tombow. And you'll need a sponge dauber or a blending tool. Now, I've been using this one because I do a lot of blending on my projects, and I think this one is amazing because you can hold it high. But we sell the sponge daubers, which gives basically the exact same effect, and you just pop it on the end of your finger and go. So I'll be showing you how to use both of these today. And you also need, of course, a heat tool for your embossing powder. Okay, so to start with, we're bringing in our Whisper White scrap and our embossing buddy. I'm just tapping it because, like I said just now, it can clog at the top, so you'll find, see, it comes out an awful lot better. You can see that powder on there when you tap it first, because this just is terrible for clogging up. Okay, so you want to put a good amount on and try and get lots of coverage on there. This will act as an anti-static, so it will basically stop the embossing powder sticking to anything it shouldn't stick to. Okay, I've got my dragon on my block and I'm going to ink this up with the Versamark. You want it inked up quite well. And then stamp down. Okay, so you only need one of these, but I'm going to stamp it twice, just in case one doesn't do too great with the embossing powder, or in case I kind of mess it up with the blending. So I do like to do two, and if both work out great, then that's great, because you've got an extra one for your paper clip. Okay, so I'm bringing in some printer paper just to put underneath this, and then my white embossing powder. You want to just sprinkle on top and tap off. Okay. And carefully filter that back in. And I'm sealing this and putting this away straight away, because if you get your heat tool out, as you go to heat up your project and this is still open, it will blow everywhere, or it will just melt and it just won't be very good. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but that's our powdered embossed image. It looks very cute. And then I'm just going to get my heat tool and heat that up. This may get a bit louder on camera, so if you want to turn it down slightly, just a warning there. And what I'm going to be looking for is this powder is going to melt and it's going to go shiny. So that's what you're looking for. So I'm going to heat this up for a couple of seconds. And make sure it's nice and hot. And then I always go a couple of times over the back first, because your paper will warp slightly. See that? That's kind of bent. So if you do it at the back, then when it bends the other way, it'll be a bit better. So, and you'll see it start to melt there. And I don't know if you can see that. That kind of looks different to the one on the left. That's all melted and shiny. Turn that around so I don't burn my fingers. Okay, so you want to let that cool down for a couple of seconds, but as you can see, it's gone super shiny and that's all melted and it's going to resist our ink. Okay, so bringing in my Soft Sky ink pad first. Okay, and what I do is you can either put this ink onto a block and use it off there, or you can just dab straight away on here. That's totally up to you how you want to do it. I'll ink up the block just to show you. So you can just, it's very light colour, but you can just about see that's on my block there. And then you'll use your tool, your blending tool, to pick up the ink off your block. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start off the image and kind of swirly motion in. And it's a very light colour, so you can work quite well with this one. Okay, and then you can just pick up some more. So that's a way of using it off there. I tend to just do it straight from here. Starting to see there as I'm blending it, the embossing powder is resisting the ink, so that will show through, and that is how you get your image on these bookmarks to come out like that. So as it's such a light colour, I am applying quite a bit of this. Just to darken that up a little bit. Okay, and then bringing in my Bermuda Bay. Now you can change this, these are on Velcro, or you can just wipe it off to one side until it's clear and then just go over another colour, or you might have one of these for each colour. It depends how you work. I tend to have like blues for blue. I don't really worry too much. And then with this one, we're just going to go in and make a circle motion kind of in the middle. And then you'll see that this part of the dragon here and the bottom of his face there is becoming darker, and that's how you get a two-tone kind of effect. Now if you're doing this with one colour, what you do is the same as what I did with the first one, and then just keep going over in that area with more and more ink until it's as dark as you'd like it to be. Okay, I really like this colour. Okay, and then just brush that off and you're ready to go again. Okay, so I'm going to keep those there, and I'm going to show you the same but thing with the sponge dobber. So I'm just making sure that's dry. So I'm dabbing up lots of soft sky to start with, and then you want to start on the edge and do circle motions. And the only thing that's really different is that this is a smaller surface, so it will take you a little bit longer to get an image coloured in. But it works in exactly the same. You want to make sure you go around the outside of the image as well, which I need to do a little bit more on this side, because you will see it when you die cut it out. Okay, so that's enough of the light blue, and then I'm going to go in with this beautiful Bermuda Bay. And that is our dragons coloured in. This is the blending tool, and this is our sponge dobber. So I think because the sponge dobber is a smaller area, you can pick up more directly where you want to go. Whereas with this is bigger, so you're going to get a bigger blend effect. So we're finished with these inks, so I'm going to put them away just so they don't dry up. I'm going to get my dragon framelit, and I'm going to cut out the dragons. I only need one for this project, so I'm just going to cut out one. And also you want to cut out the same image from your cardstock. So you're not going to do anything to this cardstock apart from cut out the image. So I'm going to run them through the Big Shot, and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so I have my two die cut shapes, and then I need to bring in my paper clip and my mini glue dots. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to the end of the paper clip add a couple of dots. It's a bit tricky to get them off. You can also do this with a heat gun. You just want the tiniest bit of glue on the end of your paper clip. So I'd say heat gun probably would be a little bit longer lasting, but a couple of mini glue dots or regular size glue dots does the trick perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place it about there and just coming off from there. And then what you want to do is you want to add some glue dots to this image here. So I've put quite a few around, but I've put one on his head, a couple around the edges on his tail, on his wing, and a couple more in the middle there. And then I did go in with some Tombow. Just on the smaller bits, just to give it a bit more stability there. Oh, a little bit on his head. And then you're just basically going to line them up. Okay, and that is your embossed resist dragon. And these you can colour in all sorts of ways, with your blends, with watercolours. I think they're just really, really pretty, and I really love the effect of the embossed resist. I love how it comes out on darker colours as well. Okay, and these are great for stationery gifts. You can use them as bookmarks for a book lover. So lots and lots of great uses for these, and I use mine in my planner and I absolutely love it. So if you liked this project, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe. The link to my blog and Facebook page are in the description bar below. And please check out part 2 of this video, which will be making the nice little gift case it comes in. Like so. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.